Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Hey. What's up, family? You get the pan news again, yeah? You get a friend that pan news. What's up, Biz? What's up, Kerry-Ann? How you doing? I am wonderful. We are wonderful. I'm happy because Toronto is in the building. Give them a round of applause. How you doing, darling? How you feeling today? What's going on?
I'm channeling my inner Stevie, and my inner who else? I have a very, very centralized headache, which is not even a headache. It's like an eye headache, and it's right here on my right side, just this right eye. So that's what we're working with today. But as you said earlier, it's going to be healed by the time we're done.
Exactly. Let's get that a round of applause. Please let me know if the applause button is annoying your headache.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm wonderful, girl. I am wonderful, man. Finished painting my bathtub. It's nice and a nice color, man. I did 2 coats and it was it worked. It worked out. I loved it. I had a good time, but you gotta just be careful. What?
Is there a special paint that you have to get?
Yeah. You could do the spray painting. Yes, I do you could do the spray painting. But you could do there's the one that you could roll, but I did the spray painting. And I should have rolled it because, sometimes the spray paint could come out a little way, but it did well for the 2 cans that I used.
That's so cool. Look at you being all DIY over there.
Well, okay. Come from no lazy family, we're not lazy, not this place, we're not lazy, buddy.
It's just you're creative. You are allowing your creativity to shine through. Take some pictures and show us. That is so.
Yeah, I got the before picture and I got the after coming out. So it's going to be, I'm just finishing the cleanup. I have to do the cleanup. You have to make sure you get all the stains and the all over the place. Oh man, ventilation is the important part.
Good catch. He can improvise and fix up the house. You paying attention, ladies?
I am not. Let me tell you something. I did not like doing this, although I come from a family, especially throughout Jamaica and all that. There was contractors and plumbers and seamstresses and tailors and all kinds of people. And I'd never like getting my hand messed up and painted up. I said, that's why I became a massage therapist.
Right. Minimal dirt.
Yeah. Energy. I was about this energy. It was spreading this energy. So it is what it is. So. But we have someone that you brought to our attention.
Yeah,
that's coming up right now. This beautiful lady, and you got the honors of bringing on. Please, by all means, let's do this right for this sister. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're so blessed to have Aina-Nia Ayo'dele.
Yes,
and she is based out of Toronto. She's a transformative leader and change maker. She's the CEO and principal of Aina-Nia Learning Journey Inc. She's unapologetically on a mission to influence institutions and individuals to create bold and meaningful changes through Lord,
take your time.
colonial and indigenized approaches to leadership, which is so important because the majority of us that are in, the exterior leadership roles, it is not conducive to our ancestors. So I love that that's something that she is so passionate about implementing. And she's a leadership coach. She's an author. She educates and teach on ancient wisdom and spiritual liberation. She's an avid activist. She is a well sought after public speaker who presents to individuals, corporation in academia, and faith groups. So we are so blessed to have her join us on the Healing Vybez Show today. Let's welcome her.
Yeah, let's welcome her. My sister, how you doing?
I am amazing. I'm good. Feeling even better now to be in the midst of greatness.
Yes.
I want to say Black greatness. Can we just great just so?
Right?
Exactly. We're just great just so.
Hi. So great to have you here.
Thank you very much for allowing us to grace your presence right here. And I want to remind everybody that you can also go to her website right here on the line right here. And she also have a PayPal to show spread love and that PayPal email also. Don't play. Spread love. Stays in T-O. You know what it is. There ain't no Cash App, family. This is PayPal. So you can do it that way. And she has an IG. She has a Facebook. And she's also on Twitter X, a.k.a. Twitter X. And make sure you support all the things that she's doing. We're going to be showing her website also in between all of this going on. And we're broadcasting on not only my channel, King Simon Presents, but also on Kerry-Ann's YouTube. It's right here on the bottom. And we're broadcasting on, of course, Facebook, my two Facebook pages, and I believe on your two
Instagram,
your Instagram and my Instagram also. So want to make sure everything. So we got a lot of places. It's such an honor to have you, sister. And I understand that you also are a priestess.
Yes, right, yes, sir. Did the work, got the pleasure. Yeah.
What spiritual systems are you a priestess under, please?
A Yoruba, so Ifa. But I'm also initiated in Akan.
Oh, I know a few.
West African traditions, yeah.
Yes, I know the Denazulus here in America. The Denazulus were good friends of mine, and a lot of Ifa priests and priestesses I know too. So wow, congratulations on that. I know that was a journey.
And listen, my elders are in Nigeria, up in the hills, so it's that ain't no joke.
So you had to trek there to go and be.
I didn't know. I didn't have to trek there.
Okay.
They trekked here.
Oh, nice.
That's good. Wow. That's new. That is new.
It's simply because the Babalawo is between Canada and Nigeria, but he's really gone back now. He's there. They're like, get yourself back here.
Right.
He's there permanently, but he comes here a few months of the year, and I've been in his experience for over 15 years now.
Wow.
We'll get that around. One of the best systems of numerology that I also studied was from Nigeria, which is interesting because they don't really coin the book as numerologists. They'll have dream oracles, or the oracle of dreams. And numbers was a part of the whole system. I found interesting because they had 0 in their numbers chart. They didn't have like Pythagoras had up to 9, the Chaldeans, which are black Chaldeans, had up to 8, but they had 0 in their chart, which was very, very interesting. It sparked my interest immediately. So,
and numbers is everything, right? The casting, the divination is done through numbers. So
exactly, divination. That's what I call them, the divination.
Divination.
So you're in Toronto now. Is it heavily in Toronto, the spiritual systems, or is it just coming in after all these years?
It's really interesting because my introduction to the African sciences and African spirituality is in the States. as I was going through my own process with Iana Van Zant at the time. That was my introduction.
That's
so
right.
I didn't even know there was a possibility up here in Toronto.
Oh, wow.
But you know what happens? You know this when the student is ready to teach their peers.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. So, the ancestors brought to me what I needed. And then when I went to Ghana, then I was called, clearly they called me in.
Right.
And I initiated there in Ghana as well. But I wouldn't say, I think in Toronto, it's sprinkling of practitioners, sprinkling of practitioners, and people find each other. So I wouldn't say, they're centered group. So
Right. I'm glad you mentioned, because I met Iana Van Zant, and of course I'm a dear friend with Queen of Four, so they're very good friends.
Of course.
And she's working with a dear friend of mine now, Dr. B. Serious. So big up to all of them doing their thing, I hear people that they've done, because I quote her all the time, and I try to make sure that's what my whole numerovation is about, using the motivational principles of other people and incorporate it into the numbers. So
absolutely, yeah. So I was blessed to spend 4 years under her tutelage, and
man, how was that?
Talking about a spiritual boot camp. So as much as I can, I introduce people to her work, and and I'm talking about her work, that deep spiritual work. I'm talking about her house. That's the kind of
Right. It's funny. My introduction into healing myself from my childhood traumas was her book.
Yes.
And she propelled me down the road of healing. One Day My Soul.
Great intro book. It's a great intro book. It is a great intro book.
Acts of Faith was mine.
Me too. Yeah, me too. That's how I was introduced to her. 1996. Oh my goodness.
Back in that, back in those days, right? Those 90s.
Yeah, in the 90s. There's the little purple book.
I think she was teaching at City College. I went to a lecture at City College that time, and it was massive. I mean, I was in the back seat. That's how massive. I got there late, and I was in the back seat. So, I'm proud of her journey. She's still doing what she has to do. I'm proud of her and all that she does, man. We love what Iana, and if you're watching this, because she's a dear friend of my teacher, Lloyd Strayhorn, also. So they're all good friends, contemporaries from back in the day. So big up to her, man. And that's why, Canada, to me, when I was in Canada, and it was they were so hungry for consciousness back in the 90s. You remember back in the 90s, 92, 93, 94.
I was one of them, hunger for consciousness.
Exactly. They were so hungry. You would bring out T-shirts and they would buy it off your back. I remember this. And, and of course, police brutality was heavy, and I know they probably still doing their thing, but how important is the spiritual teachings in Canada, especially for the youth? Do you see that the youths are gravitating? I'm talking about younger than 30, going into the 20s. Do you see them gravitating to it right now?
So there is, I think there are different groups, right? There are different pieces. There are different things happening.
Right.
There are a number. What is becoming popular for the young people is the rites of passage. Yeah, which is awesome, right? So there are a number of different agencies, different community groups that are doing rites of passage, which is a great introduction for them into African spirituality.
Yes.
So that is happening. Are the young? I think I believe that young people at this age are searching, and many of them young are. When I see young people go into gangs, I know it's because they're leaders. They're leaders, and they just, they don't know anywhere else at this point, I am not an expert. That is not where I spend a lot of my time. So I couldn't say, but what I can say is that the little that I know is the rites of passage programs are really being sought after, and it's all across the city now. There's specific groups that are doing rites of passage. There is a group that, oh my goodness, they must be like 30, 40 years now, called ACHA, and it's African history. Oh my goodness, I'm butchering it. But my children went there, and they're still going. So they're still doing those Saturday classes. I'm sure you remember the Saturday classes of African heritage classes.
Yes.
And as many of us as possible just promote those things, right? So young people get opportunities to learn who they are and to center themselves, because the oppression has not stopped.
That's right.
The oppression has not stopped, right? So as much as we can, we have to put in their consciousness the truth of who they are. And these processes are doing that.
Yeah.
Let's get that around.
Yeah, I've been really inquiring about rites of passage myself, because I feel like I see that gap. So I'm glad that is available to the young people. And
yes,
how all of that, with your immersions in giving back and working with women in particular, I want you to expand and share about your Women of Peace movement. Because anything movement, I'm like, I'm here for it. So please share on that for us.
So it's my newest baby.
That's your newest baby.
My newest baby, right? It's my newest baby. As you know, Kara, we've been running Sacred Leaders training for women 14 years now.
Yeah.
And so I was experiencing what was going on, especially on social media. I try not to spend too much time in the noise. But as I was watching what's going on social media and in the news, when I do allow myself to go there, and everybody is talking about ending war. And of course, that focus is on a particular part of the world.
Right.
While there is war going on in so many other parts of the world, right? And so because nobody's talking about Sudan and the Congo and so on.
Right.
But in any case, we're all advocating for peace. And what I know to be sure is that peace will not come to us, to the world, until we more and more of us gain inner peace.
Yeah.
That's like nothing can happen external to yourself if yourself is not that, right? The world is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. What's going on in the world is the collective consciousness.
Right.
But I heard clearly the ancestors as I was sitting one day. It was like, okay, I used to run this Women for Peace every International Women's Day for years. I do a whole day of Women for Peace and so on. And it was clear to me that concept that day needed to become a movement. So the direction was to bring the women together, collect the women. That was where the words, collect the women.
Right.
Let the women drive and influence peace in the world, right? Wherever they are, pull the women together so that together, as we bring peace to ourselves, teach the women how to bring peace to themselves. As we bring peace to ourselves, then we bring peace to our families. As we bring peace to our families, we bring peace to our communities. We bring peace to our workspaces. We bring peace to our businesses. And as we do that, then we bring peace to the cities and the countries and the world. That's the deal. That's what needs to happen. So the mission, the movement is to have 2,024 women in this movement by the end of November.
Okay, that makes sense.
November 2024, we want a collection of 2,024 women from across the world engaged in and influencing and sharing peace. What does it look like? How can we create peace in the face of brutality? How do we have peace in the face of oppression? How do we have peace in the face of all of this noise that is going on?
Right.
And so together we can do it, though.
No, you're right.
Do it.
Right.
Right. And so that's the movement. That's the movement. And where it goes after that, only knows.
And that's good. Let's give that a round of applause. It's so interesting that you said 11-20-24 because it adds up to a number. When you break it all across, it adds up to a number 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune that deals with new beginnings. And as much as people
can you say that again?
It deals with new beginnings. It deals with the Wheel of Fortune and new beginnings. When you add 1 + 1 + 2 + 0 + 2 + 4, it equals 10, which is a 1, which adds up to a 1. So it all deals with new beginning, but it does take a creative effort for it to happen. And it's an initiation that has to happen.
Yes.
And what I was thinking as you were saying that, I said, every leader, especially male leader that's in the world, and every female leader has a mother. And why wouldn't they think about mother and talk to their mother to bring about peace? Because they wouldn't want something to happen to their mother or think of their mother at that time. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said years ago, he said, no nation can rise higher than its woman. That part. I see the Wheel
of Fortune, right?
Yeah, that's the Wheel of Fortune. Right. That's the Wheel of Fortune. So if no nation can rise any higher as a woman, if we're degrading the woman and destroying the woman, then our nation will fall with it. And that's, I think, it's a very important factor, what you're trying to do, or what you will do, not trying, what you will do. Whether you did 2022 to 2024 or 2024, that's going to be very important factor of what you're moving. And hopefully you'll reach to the mothers of these leaders. The mothers. You got to get to the mothers of these people.
I am so glad that you're saying that, right? Because we know in our traditional teachings, we know that it's the Iyamis, it is the mothers, it is the mothers of the earth, the mothers of the water, the mothers of the air, the mothers of the skies. We know that it is the mothers, and that is the leader. That is the leader. That is the original. That is the first people. Now, when we dishonor the mothers, like we're seeing happening, destruction must come. So there's a reconciliation that is needed for the mothers. So I'm so grateful that you brought that forward, my brother.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it is that.
Yeah.
So as the movement, what you've just brought to my attention is, while we're bringing the women, and we're bringing elders. Like what we're doing is we do a monthly circle.
Right.
The last circle, we had 4 elders on. 2 of them were from Barbados, 1 from Canada, and 1 from somewhere in the States. And so it's interesting that you're saying that, because I thought, where do these elders come from? How did they hear about us, right? How did they hear about us? So the elders are coming, the mothers are coming, and they had so much wisdom. They were sharing so much wisdom with us, which is what we want.
Right.
You got something. You're tapping on something there, my brother, and I thank you.
I mean, it just makes sense to me because we both man and woman have the duality of divine feminine and masculine in us all. But when I deal with the numbers, because we're in the years of the 2000s up to 2024, let me show y'all something on the board, right? Real quick, if you don't mind. The number 2, right, is shaped like this, but in numerology, the circular part of it is the feminine, and the masculine part is right here at the bottom. So, in other words, feminine is supposed to rise, and the masculine is supposed to support. That's what's supposed to happen in the 2000s, but it's been convoluted and actually disrespected, and it's become man against woman. The enemy has had us fighting each other when men are supposed to support. It doesn't. This is the hook. The women is the hook. We got to go with the women. If it's connected, it's not disconnected. It has to be connected in the 2000s. So they don't understand the metaphysics in the numbers behind it. And that's why I try to tell people, you got to understand why you need to support, because that represents the women is the one that's holding on to the hook right now and taking us to that level. And the men need to support, be that foundation to make sure they're protected and make sure they're supported. That's what it shows me in the metaphysics.
But you know, men have been asking me, how do we support this? Men have been asking how to support this, right? It's the understanding just to bring the brothers along, bring the fathers along, and help them to understand. Why are you taking off the board? I was so connected to that.
I'm sorry.
I was rolling with it. I was like,
I'm sorry. I do this naturally. Natural for me.
I was rolling with that, but that's it. And I thank you so I understood the numerological message around the November piece and the 2024. So thanks for affirming and confirming that for us. So that's the deal, right? That's the mission. That's the mission right now.
That's right. And and I'm glad that you're doing
peace. In that we can bring peace. Other than that, we can continue. First of all these wars are bigger than it's a whole different thing going on than any of us,
Yes, and I think Bob Marley was trying to say when he quoted Haile Selassie, until the philosophy which all one master. When he quoted that, people don't know Bob is born under a feminine number. The number 6 is a feminine number. And if you don't utilize that feminine energy, he was the sign is masculine, but the number was feminine. So he knew how to balance it all in his own way through music. So that's why I look at all these things from a metaphysics, spiritual, any aspect you can look at it. It's all the armor of God coming together, working. And it's working. And we already won, to tell you the truth. We already won in the spiritual realm. It's just how we motivate that. Say that.
I believe so. I believe so. I when folks say, "Oh my goodness, the world it's so hard," I say, this is the best time to be alive."
Exactly.
This is the best time to be alive because the spiritual realm has won. Spirituality has won. The decolonizing, indigenizing way has won. It's already done. So it's a catching up now. Is it?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to catch up or not?
That's right. And we're not talking about Heinz catch up too. We're talking about
but you know what? There's a lot of people though, because the world is splitting. It's two realities that are coming into play on this one earth plane. So for those people who are stuck in the old paradigm, the old way of thinking, how do you suggest? What would you suggest rather that they concentrate on to help them get themselves out of that habitual way of thinking that is keeping them tethered to that false reality so that they can move into this, this birthing, this newness that is coming regardless? But how can they alchemize themselves to be ready for what is to come?
Good question.
I believe, very good question. There has to be a willingness. There has to be a willingness to recognize that there is something different. There's something different. So I learned a new concept recently that I thought was so brilliant. So in East Africa, there is a process called the Sankofa. And the process of the Sankofa is what happens is there is a lot of ticks, because of where they are, right? Lots of ticks. Now, if that ticks gets into your skin and you don't get it out, it takes over the skin and, you can actually die. But the worst then, not death would be, it looks like a skin disease. It just takes over. So there is a process, an indigenous process, a traditional process called Sankofa, where you go in and you take out the ticks, but you have to take out the entire ticks. You can't just take out the tail. You can't just take out the head. You got to make sure you take out the Sankofa. Enables you to take out. It's a system, right? It enables you to take out the entire ticks once you take out the entire tics, then the body can be whole again. I say that because my response to you and anybody that is asking that question, Kerry-Ann, is we must do the process of the sankof and take out the years that the locusts have eaten, the erroneous beliefs, the ways that have been wrapped in our body. We must emancipate our minds by taking out those old ways of thinking, taking out those old beliefs. We must exercise a sankof process.
Right.
Therefore, and in that, once we've done that, then we do the sankofa.
Exactly. Sankofa after. Exactly.
And we go back and remember ourselves.
That's right. That's it.
Remember ourselves. And I'm speaking to African people, but not just African people, any people.
Right.
Go back to our natural ways of being. Understand, learn, make it your business. We spend so much time minding everybody else's business. Make it your business to understand yourself, to remember yourself. This book that that the ancestors have given me to give to the world called Self, a journey to remembering your power. Go back and remember. Oh, I see you told me.
Show the book. I get it. Show the book. I get it. Yeah, there we go. That's right. Yes.
Right? Remember, take the time. Make it your business.
Yes.
Take some time in silence. We underestimate the power of silence. Learn what our brother is just showing us. Our ancestors, as indigenous people, those things are critical. The number, even the way we write the number, every circle, every line, every dot has a meaning. Everything means something. Everything is significant. Let's understand the metaphysical ways of being. That's beyond what we're seeing in front of our eyes. But that takes work. That takes commitment, and it takes discipline, and you can't force somebody to do that. You can't force somebody to do that. They must be willing to say, let me check another thing out. Let me. Who am I really? My 5 questions. I don't know if I answered your question, but I just need to tell you these 5.
You did.
Who am I? Who am I?
That's right.
Why have I come to this planet at this time? This time. I go through my phone the other day, my contact. So many people are no longer here. So what is my purpose? Why am I still here? What am I here for? And why am I here? And am I living my purpose? Or am I living somebody else's purpose? You know, because they tell us that it's certain, you know, we have to, it's a particular thing. Like I hear my brother talking, and you're doing your thing, Kerry-Ann. You're doing what Spirit has asked you to do.
That's right.
You ain't starved yet. You ain't dead yet. You still have some roof over your head.
That's right.
So it's to get away from the world. What does it mean metaphysically? The world, a consciousness that has nothing to do with you.
Right.
Get away from the world and mind your business and experience what Spirit has brought you to this planet for, so we can all have a good time and live in peace. Let me have a gossip.
Yes.
That part.
No, that's very powerful. That's very powerful. And, you know, having that reminder is what a lot of people need, because the heaviness that they kind of consume, you know, a lot of us try to stay away from consuming things that will take us away from ourselves, but it is challenging to do in a world where the focus is to take oneself away from the self. So having practices like yours that can help to remind someone, kind of like a check-in, if you will, to remind someone of who they are. So when they're falling off the wagon, they can have your structure as a pillar. Is that what your group is about? Is it a foundation to kind of help somebody, support someone when they are struggling?
So there are a number of things, right? So there is the Women for Peace, which, we're on the movement. It's a Sacred Leaders training has been around for 14 years. And what Wise Spirit gave us that one was to support women who were in leadership to lead from their highest self, to explore themselves and to get to know themselves beyond what they've been told that they are. Again, because we know that it is the women who are leading, that number 2 right there, right? We know that. And so the work has been around really supporting women, giving them the tools that is necessary. I do everything from an African-centered knowledge system. That's my base, right? So that's what we're gonna do rituals, because rituals guarantee success.
Yes.
We're going to do rituals. We're not going to be afraid of it, because the colonizers said that those things are bad and you're demonic. We're going to make you embrace that, because that's who you are as African women. And if non-African women want to be a part of it too, then baby, you're going to have to come on the African train, because that's what we do, right?
So how do you implement that in the colonized system?
How do I go into people's institutions and do that?
Exactly.
Kerry-Ann, you really want the tea. Okay.
Don't tell it too much, Scott. People don't need to hear all of that.
We know we're Jamaican. We're not going to tell every tea.
Right. Exactly. That part.
Well, the point for that, though, it's about, my message is, what you're doing haven't been working.
Yes.
What you're doing haven't been working.
Yeah.
People in your institution are getting sicker and sicker. They're dying. They're getting the rotation of people going on long-term disability is costing you money. Yeah. So clearly it is not a good business choice. Whatever you're doing is not working.
Yeah.
What we need to do is to get back to nature. We need to get back to a space where we're building relationship. So what I'm teaching institution is relational responsibility and collective accountability.
Ooh.
Yes, that's good.
Those are indigenous ways of being. Those are traditional African ways of being. We're saying you can't say you're serving people when you don't even know them.
Yeah.
You can't say that you're building, every institution has their mandate and their vision on diversity and inclusion and blah, 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 blah. They don't even know what it means. I don't even bother going into their diversity thing. I can't even bother. I'm saying to them, let's focus on this thing called inclusion.
Right.
And to focus on this thing called inclusion so that you can have a well organization, we need to decolonize. Somebody asked me the other day in one of these institutions, why are you saying African? Because one of my programs is called African-Centered Knowledge System.
Okay.
And they're like, why are you saying African-Centered Knowledge System? Because the things you're teaching is really, is really indigenous stuff, and it's really, natural ways. And I said, because it came from Africa. So all I'm doing is calling the thing the thing.
Right.
I'm just calling the thing. Let my people teach you how to live. Let my people how to be honest. Let my people teach you how to be successful. Let my people teach you how to have integrity. Let my people teach you how to really be successful. Let my people teach you HR.
Again.
Let us teach you, because we are the original people. That's why you all went and got us. Right? So, yeah, that's why I go into the institutions, Kerry.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And I take them through a learning journey. So I don't do workshops. I don't do one-off workshops. I don't have no time for that. That's a joke. I'm not saying if you do workshop it's bad. I'm just saying for me,
Right.
like Spirit has asked me to do.
Yeah.
I need to take people on a journey.
Yeah.
A journey of self-exploration, a journey for introspection, intention, and implementation.
Right.
I need to take you on a journey. If you don't want to go on a journey, that's fine. I'm not the teacher. I'm not the person. I'm good. All is well.
That's right.
I want to deal with your leaders. So I work with your leaders, your senior leaders, your managers, those are the people I want to work with, because you get to sign the thing and make the changes.
Yes.
You know, people that are just tuning in, family, please continue to like, subscribe, and share with at least 5 people, and tell them, because that helps to build the algorithms. But we are here with this beautiful sister, Aina-Nia, right? Aina-Nia. Maybe I had the Anna right. Aina-Nia. Let me get it right. Aina-Nia. That's right. Exactly. Aina-Nia Ayo'dele. Ayo'dele. I got it. Ayo'dele. She's our guest, transformative leader and change maker, leadership coach, author, ancient wisdom teacher, spiritual liberation activist, and CEO and principal of her own learning journey. Now, transformation, it's not one of the easiest things people go through, because sometimes you got snotty nose crying trying to go through this transformation, you know. And you remember Michael Basin wrote a book called Men Cry in the Dark, and so does women. We all cry, you know. But we gotta, you know, what, from your perspective, what is this transformation like, and does it start can it happen at any age, or what would you advise the parents of young people that want to make a transformation early? What would you suggest that they do in their rites of passage? Because some of the rites of passage is becoming negative, because you have gang rites of passage.
Yes.
You have sexual rites of passage. Let's be real.
Yes.
And we got to know that. So what would you suggest that their parents impart upon them, young people? Because we always say the children are the future, but what happens if those children have not gone through their own transformation from at least 13, like the Europeans do, their bar mitzvah and all that? We're supposed to do those rites of passage, like basically, because they learn from us. They learn from us.
Yeah.
What is your process of transformation, not just for adults, but for young people also?
Yeah, I love that you keep going back to young people. That's really good.
I know, that's my energy.
I really love that you keep going back to young people, because we need to talk about that.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we talk about using our traditional ways, remember that we have rights is a continuous thing for us, right? There's rights at birth. Right. So there's naming ceremony, there's rights at birth. Right. The child then is going off to high school. There's another ceremony that happens. There's a transition that happens, and there's a ceremony. A girl gets to see her period. There's a whole process around that. So I'm saying to parents, engage your children in our natural ways. Engage our children in our natural ways, so they can learn about how our people are really. Celebrate their different processes, so they don't get confused by the world, right? So I think it's the celebration of the step, and it's the teaching. There's a group, there's a family that I'm so proud of. So they could find a rite of passage for their children, right? And so they created one.
That's right.
And they went in their neighborhood and they grabbed the young people. There's a whole group of girls, right? And they grabbed them. They're somewhere between 9, because you remember, you know, our children are getting influenced earlier now. Right?
Yeah.
So about 9 years old to, I think the oldest one is probably 13.
Yeah.
And they're taking them through this 2-year rites of passage. And they bring people like, you know, I'm always happy to talk to young people. So they bring people like me in. They people, if they knew you, they would bring you in, right? And so they can hear from the elders, and they're teaching them different ways, and they're teaching them our original ways. They're teaching them our. So you may not have a rite of passage in your area, but you can start one right where you are with your children. Take responsibility to do that. And then the children down the street, village style. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Go get the village style. Not wrong with it. That's what's going to keep us grounded. Our children need to know that if they down the street and they're doing something, auntie over here will pull them up.
I love that you said that. Yes.
And that's why I keep on saying children, sister, because what happens, we keep on forgetting this village thing. Yes. And, and instead they go into the village people.
Yes.
We're not even thinking what's happening here.
Right. So we have to have a part of our responsibility, I think, as adults, whether you're parents by giving birth or you're parent because you're just parenting the world. Right. I think part of our responsibility is to pull these children in, right? I have a ton in my community. So as a Sacred Leaders training that we started 14 years ago, every group of women who went through, we now have a community. And we are tight. And these children are my children. They're their auntie's children. They're our children. Mm-hmm. The partners are everybody's is one community now, right? And we take care of each other. But that's this community. You started where you are. And that's what we want to do with Women for Peace. I want to share with women on these monthly thing so they can go out and they can share with other women. And this other group go out and they share with us. Let's just keep this movement going just like that. It's not mine. It's not mine. I am simply the facilitator.
Yeah.
Right? And so I feel it's taken the call, especially at this time, is for us to take on that responsibility, that collective responsibility for each other and to hold each other accountable. But not hold each other accountable like up here, but from a relational perspective. Let's build relationships, get to know each other.
Thank you very much. If you wanted to show your website, that's why I put it up on the board to make sure people see what you are doing in regards to the Women for Peace movement. Family, this is a very important part of the journey for women, because if you educate our women, you educate the nation. Always remember, that's what they used to say. When you educate a woman, you educate the nation. And that was an old teaching back in the day. So, I remember those type of things, and it's important that we continue to try to foster better environment for our women and our young girls that are coming up, because they're being taken over by a sexy red and all these different people. And it's that's why I spoke to a teacher, sister, and this teacher, she basically like giving up, and I said, no, you can't give it up. I said, you can't give up. You know why you can't give up? Because you just had a granddaughter. You can't give up. Every time we have children, there's always hope to move forward, because we're here for a reason, and you're there as a teacher and got your doctorate degree for a reason. So don't give up and don't cuss them out under your tone when you can actually, when you used to help them out. She said one time, you know what really got her upset as a teacher? That she had the children meditating, and because the children were seeing their grandparents in their meditation and went home and told their parents, the parents come back in and argue with her about meditating and why you influence teaching them meditation. Wait a minute. And
colonized mind.
Exactly. Colonized mind.
Colonized mind. The colonized mind. And when we talk about hope, I'm so happy that you mentioned hope. Hope is a discipline.
Yes.
Hope is a discipline. We can't let it go. Every day, because folks ask me that all the time, how do you maintain hope? And I said, it's a discipline. It's something that I have to practice every day. Every day I have to practice. I go to my altar, go to my ancestors, and I ask that they help me to stay hopeful. Help me to practice hope. It's a discipline. So every teacher out there, all our people who are on this journey, because so many people are on this journey, don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. Don't let the system make us think that we're failing, because the spiritual pieces, those of us who are working on our enlightenment, those of us who are living in peace, we've already won. We've already won. So just stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it.
It's funny that you said hope is a discipline, because in the Pythagorean system of numerology, the word hope adds up to 26, which equals an 8. 8 is the number of discipline, order, structure. And also all even numbers are healing numbers. The word hope. In the Chaldean system, the black melanated Chaldean adds up to 25, which is a 7, which is the spiritual introspection, the healing, deeply spiritual number that people have to learn to observe and have endurance. That's the number of endurance and strength. So hope has all of the qualities in mathematics already.
And hope, if you are over there and hope is adding up to 8,
yes,
8 is the number of power.
Yes, it is.
So now we're good.
And it's an infinite, is an erected infinity symbol.
Right.
We're good.
Infinite power. So
infinite power.
And I've broken down this word before on my channel. It just came to mind that it had those two spiritual, deeply spiritual, and it can go down the negative road, but we try to keep people on the positive road of hope.
Right.
You know, and that's why it's so important. When I watched that movie, that series called Sandman, very interesting series because it was metaphysical. And when he was fighting with the devil and he was all the way given up, all he had that defeated the devil, quote unquote, white woman that acted like the devil, was hope. Mm-hmm. Hope defeated that. And he was able to be freed from hell because of hope. Very interesting. That's why Phil Valentine and all these great metaphysics teachers, Bobby Hemmett and them, told us to study movies because they're teaching us through their movies. That is their hieroglyphics. That's their writing on the walls.
Right.
You know, the meduneta, that's their meduneta. You know what I'm
saying? I've never broken down hope numerologically yet.
Oh, and it's two systems. Remember, the one on top is Pythagorean, the other one is Chaldean. That's where the black melanated Chaldean and Pythagorean, we know who he is already. So, right. In both systems. So I'm using two systems to get a clarity.
That's why you call numerovator.
You haven't let it flow off him all. Numerovator.
The new word that we go.
Roll the tongue. You have to roll.
I'm writing it down so you can sit in my car. The numerovator. I love it.
I don't want to be the Terminator. I want to be the numerovator.
Numerovator. I love it. That's it. That's the right there. Because even that, right?
Yes.
Folks have to be willing to say, let me learn. No, what does that mean? You have to be curious.
Yes.
So an answer to that question is somebody who might be stuck, is the curiosity.
Curiosity.
Mm-hmm. They have to have a curious mind. And these children. So imagine that there were children that had families that understood themselves. Right. And the children go home and say, I was meditating at school and I saw grandma.
Yeah.
We would have just like celebrated that, right?
Right.
Yeah, what did grandma look like and and let them feel that this is, and let them know that this is a natural way. We have children in our community that say that. One little one came home the other day, told her mother, Mom, they followed me home. They who? Sisters followed me home. So what do you want to do with that? Well, let me play for a while. And she played for a while. And then she said, Mom, I think it's time for them to go. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, a natural conversation.
Exactly.
So that this child now don't think she's lost her mind and and they go put some label on her that said that she's not well.
Mm-hmm. And then the doorway to medicating, to removing that sort of power from her,
Exactly. And the Buddha once said, which means enlightened one anyway.
Yeah.
If it says your purpose in life is to find your purpose. And that is just one of the sayings of the Buddha. One of the sayings of the Buddha. And what a lot of people don't realize, that sometimes your purpose is right there
Yeah.
If you like to chat too much, then that's your purpose. If you love to dance, if you like to wiggle to music, there's your purpose. If you like to play with your plants and get in the ground, that's your purpose. That's right there. But we're so inundated with what they're telling us in television that we have to have this aha moment, like lights have to shine and this have to go down and woo-hoo-hoo.
And you have to go to the mountain.
When I always tell my clients, ladies, that aha is when you first tie your shoes for the first time and say, "Mommy, I tied my shoes for the aha." I put a bottle. I fed myself for the first time with a spoon. Aha. I put on my pants for the first time, my dress for the first time. Aha. Every little aha moment matters.
But if we were to embrace those aha and encourage the young, beautiful soul, along their path when that happened, the systems that are in place would not flourish. Exactly. The systems need us to be uneducated about the truth of who we are, So I love the work that you're doing, and it is a part of re-educating the mothers, the women who are the head of the household. Man, I'm not saying this to insult you. That's how it is.
Everything is duality right there. We ain't angry.
We're just talking.
Y'all know how it is.
Everybody trying to step on each other's toes in this time. We just got to balance it off. We got to balance this off.
Exactly.
So everybody got work to do.
Exactly.
Somebody asked me yesterday if they're in, because so many of our people work for other people, right? So they're in institution. Yeah. And somebody say, how do I deal with microaggression? And I said, know yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Know yourself. How you deal with microaggression? Know yourself.
Yes.
How you deal with racism? Know yourself.
That part.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because as long as we know ourselves and we can stand in the power and the truth of who we are, there is nothing anybody can do that can destroy us.
Yes.
The ancestors have already layered us with 7 layers of skin so that it can just wash off our back, because we thick like that. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Ain't nothing to it.
Yeah. Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Nothing to it but to do it. As we're talking about children, I guess Spirit has a reason for everything. I have a 3-year-old grandson. That boy loves numbers more than I have never.
You need to get my children's book on numbers. You need to get them.
I'm gonna get it, because I'm thinking here, I gotta figure something out with King Simon on this number thing. That boy's 3 years old. That boy is multiplying.
Wow.
You just need to say a thing, and he counting backwards and forwards. He won't eat his food, but he won't stop doing numbers.
That's right. That's how I was exactly, to tell you the truth. And then I dropped it for a while to chase friends and become a ganja smoking friend.
Wait. And a woman, TL.
And a womanizer.
So you were like that.
I was in the numbers. I love numbers. As a matter of fact, it was my grandmother who was born like June 22nd. And, she was the first to come here from Jamaica and then brought everybody else with her. And she was the one that used to always acknowledge people's birthday. And I'm there wondering why is birthday so important from a young age. I'm watching her. She's telling us to go and drop off this card, and I put it in the mailbox, and it should get there by a certain time, and this and that. Master number now. She's born on the 22nd. So I'm like, okay, Grandma. And then I realized that, whoa, Grandma really understood birthdays, or the importance of celebrating, because it's a celebratory moment when you come through your mother's womb. Yes. And it's supposed to be a family celebration with man and woman, actually. Yes. Because the product that was made inside of this womb comes out and shows its face for the first time to go on its journey until it translates and transforms into the next life after that. This was supposed to be a celebratory, not a labor. Not a labor. So my grandmother was she was a midwife in Jamaica now, so mind you. So she was always about birth.
Grandmother too.
But yes, I in Spanish town. With Spanish town with that.
Whoa. So she knew it. She was seeing it.
Yeah, and then I seen it, and then I just kept on doing it and was afraid of it for a while, and then boom, I think because it just, and sometimes we are afraid of our purpose. One
Yeah.
is that sometimes we're afraid of our purpose, and I'm glad you, my dear, was not afraid of your purpose. I'm glad Kerry-Ann was.
I tell the truth now.
I mean, yeah, tell the truth. Yeah, tell the truth. Yeah, tell the truth. Go out with it.
Right? I was for a while. Yeah.
Boy. And say, why were you afraid of it? That's what people want to know. Let them know that you went through your fears too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, because I couldn't. It never made sense to me that I was running after the money, right? So I couldn't. I couldn't even see spirituality. Who does that? Like the belief system around what a spiritualist looks like,
yes,
and or what I should be. Right? There were these boxes that I was put in that I should be. And so the thought of I was, how as a young girl, I remember feeling things. And I remember sometimes feeling things so much and that my mouth would feel like it's getting numb. I remember that so much. Right?
Yeah.
And or I would see things.
Yes, me too. Yes.
I would just get really nervous about it.
Yeah.
I blocked it out, and one of my gifts is hearing, so I hear what
Audience.
Yeah, I'm audiovoyant, and so I would just, oh my goodness, it's too much. Today, I keep telling people I can't handle crowds.
Me neither.
I can't.
Yep.
It becomes
overload, right?
For me, right? And then I learned, okay, then I could wrap my head and go into the crowd.
Yeah.
But I was afraid. Let me tell you the truth. I was afraid because I couldn't see the possibilities because I wasn't told I could be anything else. I wasn't told that I could, and I couldn't see the possibility. How you mean stop everything?
Yeah.
And so on my journey, my life is ancestral driven. I have no apologies about that. It's ancestral driven. So for me, it's what the ancestors say. So if Kerry-Ann had called me and say, Ania, can you? And the ancestors had said, hell no. You would have gotten a hell no.
Yeah.
Right? So my life is ancestral driven. Now that takes a lot of trust.
That takes a lot of trust.
That takes a lot of faith.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of study. Study to show yourself approved. It takes a lot of study. So I would say to folks, don't feel wrong because you're afraid.
Yes.
Don't feel wrong because you're afraid, but just start to take the baby steps
and adapt. That's
right. Just adapt it to just one at a time. This is not a race.
Yeah.
Right? This is not a race. So just listen to spirit. Do however you meditate. I can't tell people how to meditate, whatever that is.
Yes.
People, it's numerology. Some people it's astrology. Some people are channelers,
Yes, exactly.
Have all kinds of different gifts. And sometimes your gift is whatever you are working in that school.
That's right.
You're about to save a child's life.
Yeah.
Exactly. You could be the royal toilet cleaner. I don't care.
That part.
And you're so funny. You said crowds. I'm a promoter, and I have to be in crowds when I'm dealing. But I learned how to deal with crowd by moving. Keep on moving. I don't stay there. I'm big reggae concert. 30,000 people. I meet that when I move. You ain't keeping me there because I used to be in a club and I get walkthroughs where my whole body shivers. Like, what the heck was that? Why did that just come through?
They're walking through your body.
Walking through me. And then I know I have to move from this area for some reason. And I used to go into a nightclub and actually do my libation in the DJ booth before I get on the microphone. I used to do like water libation and do spit like Bobby Hemmett.
Yeah.
I'll be spitting. I have my crystals and my thing and I have my thing. If people know me in New York, any DJ would remember me in New York back in the day in nightclubs at 1:00 in the morning. As soon as I walk in there, I'm taking water. I get water from the bar and I drop my libation in a circle and I'm protecting that booth. Never got into a fight in that booth. Only once, and that's when I didn't do my libation. One time, and this guy came and attacked me, but I trained martial arts, so I hit him with the mic. So, look, this is a button left. This is a weapon, you know. But that was that one time.
I love how you shared that. That is, people forget how incredibly powerful the ancestors are. Their energy will never die. They're with us forever. Exactly. So remembering, and that's the key, remembering to access them. Like when I leave my house, there's an army with me.
Of course.
Nothing ever. I've almost been ran over, kidnapped. Never will I be touched because my ancestral army is forever with me. Exactly. So that it's so important. And your libation, that's powerful. I need to remember that. I need to go on planes and throw libation.
And don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid, because some of the practices I take women through who come through my process, even this weekend, because we were away this weekend, and we're in the middle of the lake doing our thing, because that's what I do. Right. And women are like, oh my goodness, and listen, you're protected. Yeah. Who can come touch you? Yeah. You are protected. The only thing the ancestors ask is for recognition. Mm-hmm. They just recognize that we're here.
That's right. That's recognized. And it's the truth, because another spiritual teacher said, Kundalini is rising in the nightclub, but they're not doing it correctly. It's a sexual energy coming. That just when you're playing people like Shabba, you're playing people like Vybez Cartel, that rhythm behind it, and they're together, man and woman dancing. There's a Kundalini energy rising. It's just that they're not using it appropriately. Mm-hmm. That's all. And I feel that energy when I'm in the club. I'm like, whoa. And it's
really, if we just knew how to use it.
Exactly, because that's the most powerful energy. Just learn how to manifest with that.
Right?
That's a powerful energy.
It is. That's what brings life into the portal.
Exactly.
Allows it to be birthed through the black hole.
And sometimes it's not smoke, because there was no smoking in the club. The heat of the people, the energy of the people was in the light. I could see it. I remember this. I was like, whoa. And then somebody, Jerry Miller, a spiritual, and his wife, Sandra, who's also from Jamaica, both of them from Jamaica, they're spiritual teachers in Sedona right now. They told me that's Kundalini rising, but remember, you could use things negatively and positively. Understand the balance. That's what I was like, oh, now I see what it is. So every time I went to the club, I've made sure I watched for the energy and felt the energy. I felt, especially when certain club bangers come in with the Vybez Cartel. Every man to our gal, and every gal to our man. That's really what he just did. He just brought him and Spices, bringing two people together. And that's why when they started separating men from women, that's when a lot of problems started happening. Wow. Because you remember in the dance hall, man, I used to go fist to fist, rub I do. I mean, them doing all kind of things we used to do in the now back in the day. I'm sorry, anybody don't remember them days. That's back in the day when we did our blue light.
Listen. Clearly we're the same age.
So I have a question. And so if some of our audience members out there are like, African spirituality, ancestors, how do I recognize them? How do I tap into them? What's the advice would you give them for accessing this incredible source?
So what I would say, it's simple, right? Mm-hmm. It's building a relationship with your ancestors, right? And the easiest way that I know how to do it is, probably just where you are, wherever you're living, just have a space that is your space that you do your your sacred conversations. You know, it can be anything. Ancestors aren't fussy. And then just, you know, an ancestor, you're somebody in your experience is transitioned. Bring in their photograph. Or if you don't even, sometimes you don't even know their name. If you don't know their name and if you don't have a photograph, you just sit down and you just be still. And in your meditation, say, I am calling in the energies of my ancestors. Libation is a lovely way to do it, right? You just pour some water, you pour some rum, you pour some gin, and you say, ancestors, I'm calling you in. And I just need to know that you're here. And you do it, especially if you do it the same time every day.
Yeah.
Same time every day. So they know it's your meeting place, right? You and them going to meet. Same time every day, especially if you do it the same time. And just keep calling them in. Just call them in, acknowledge them. And if you know them, and if you are familiar with them, and if like you know their birthday, for instance, or you know, I have ancestors that especially love some curry goat. My father didn't love when I cook some curry goat. And so when I cook some curry goat, I set it up and give him curry goat and white rice. Don't give him the rice and the peas, right? Just curry goat and the rice, and just set it up.
Yeah.
And you start to build the relationship, right? You start to build the relationship like anything else. Like anything else. And you will know, you will feel them. But you have to be present, you have to be committed to it, you have to be willing. And don't think that there is any wrong way.
Exactly.
Some teachings have done that to us, right?
Yeah.
Right.
To say, you can only do it this way, and only and you have to have a Babylon, and you have to have that. No, that's not true. That is not true. Those are false teachings.
Yeah.
Right.
Mindful of false teachings.
Exactly.
You can have a relationship, just like you have a relationship with your higher self.
Yeah.
You have a relationship with God, Marie, whatever it is that you call Shiva.
Right.
You have a relationship. You build your own relationship. Nobody can tell you what that relationship should be.
Right.
And you will eventually, you will see it. And they will start to show you things. They will start to guide you. You know, I can tell you, my first experience with this, after I was running so much, I was a financial planner. I was about money, right?
Oh,
and
very Taurian. Very Taurian.
Very Taurian. Very Taurian. Yeah. This was all about the money, baby. All about the business, right? And I had a car accident. So 20 years ago, I just celebrated my 20th year of rebirth.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I wasn't listening. And I was trying to do my own thing and mind my own business. Right? And I wasn't listening. Long, very long story made very, very short is I was in a lot of pain. I give thanks for body workers. I give thanks for body workers and healers with body healers. And I went to see this healer that I have decided was just an ancestor who came and spoke with me. But I remember one of the things that she said to me was, how much longer are you going to be selling your soul? Right? And she read me like, and I'm talking the read, right?
Yeah.
So much so I remember getting hot. But that was the beginning of them talking to me.
Wow.
Me starting to understand. And I had to I went through many, many years of transformation. My entire life changed. And I'm talking entire life change where I came down to having nothing so that I could have so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a willingness and it's a readiness. And it's simple. Don't complicate it.
Right.
Spirituality is not complicated.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't let nobody tell you what this right and do it that way. Don't do that.
I tell them keep it simple, because if you can go in a room and a 5-year-old to an 85-year-old has learned, then you have done your job.
Ooh, I love that.
I don't like to. I keep it simple, keep it moving. That's me. Because I could go on the board and show a child this just like it could show an adult.
Right.
Boom, show them how. And that's important. Family, man, we have had a time with this beautiful sister here. Lot of mercy.
Lot of mercy.
Yeah, people all in South Florida, people are tuning in Canada and all them places. Montreal in the building. Sister, this has been a wonderful. Please go to her website. Let me show y'all the website and spread love. Please, that PayPal email.
Yes.
Please hit her up at that PayPal and show her some love. And if you can't do it, just go to her website and sign up for her classes and all the things that she has. She inspires action. It's not just sit around and just pontificate.
And hire her for work an experience, a journey.
Yes. Yeah, she come with style. Look at that style. They're just like one of my April 18 people. That's style.
You know, right? Luxurious.
They love the style, yo. They love the style with that.
It's because of Jamaican too, you know.
Yeah. Stand in your power, family. Stand in your power, she said. I say. It's been a lovely, lovely time. And family, please go and support her website. Her website is very beautiful. You can contact her. Let me show you the contact. They're happy to help you. All you have to do is put that name, that email, put that message, and send. That easy. Yes. Look forward to hearing from you, she said. All right? Make sure you do what me tell her to do.
Go support.
Yes.
This is so good.
Any last words, my beautiful sister, please?
You know, first of all, it's been so much fun.
We gotta do it again.
A lot of fun. I have learned. You both have taught me. I have had laugh, my belly full. So I am grateful. So I want to say that first. And then the other, is that the children's book?
Nancy the Spider. No, this is Nancy the Spider, the children's book.
Oh, man.
I just got it in mail because I grew up with a Nancy. You know how we grew up with a Nancy.
Yeah.
Wow. I just want to
say to folks, you know, honestly, simplify it. Get back to yourself.
Yes.
Stay away from the noise. Make it your business to go inside. Why are you here on this planet at this time? Why?
Yes.
Right? And just love upon yourself, no matter. Yes. Honestly, just love upon yourself. And if nobody told you today that they love you, I'm telling you, I love you. I don't know who you are, but I love you.
Oh.
Thank you very much. We love you too, my sister. It has been, I can't wait to be able to get through those borders of Toronto. Come. Them don't kick me out of Canada.
Come. And Kerry and we will talk to some people together. Trust me.
Yes. We definitely will. You
got a few good people out there that I know. The hypnotherapist is out there. You got a few good people out there. Kendall Cobb's her husband is out there. There's some good people. Y'all need to. He teaches disaster preparedness too, so that's a good person to link up with out there.
That's awesome.
A good friend of mine, and all the other beautiful people from Toronto out there in Canada, and just between Montreal and Toronto, you got Mama Oracle, all that. We're supposed to be having. Yeah, please. I hope y'all build whatever you got to build out there, and let's all come together and make it happen and do a big thing. You know.
Well, you've just put a charge on and Kerry and I, so we're gonna do it.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Well, I see this. Lord have mercy. Whoa. Thank you very much.
Blessings to you both.
And be safe and give your ancestors your salute.
I say.
Oh, family, we gotta give them a round of applause. Very beautiful experience, man. Thank you very much. That was a
divine
great
soul.
Toronto boy. Make me want to come back to Toronto again, you know.
But you know what? I'm so grateful for this show because it has really your mission to connect Canada and America, the cross-border connection, it's really working because a lot of us who did not know we existed are able to find each other. Like it's a little trickling, but we're finding each other. So I've met people from just this show alone who I wouldn't have met otherwise. So that's really good.
And they love you there. They love you out here in America. I love you. They love you. And I miss Canada, period. Because my cousin still wanted me to come out there. Oh, there's a memorial she wants me to come out. I said, girl, you want me get arrested at that border? You know, come out there and let's the indigenous people can help me. Because the indigenous people can help me. I need to talk to my indigenous
people. So you need to talk. Come on, stop it. It's time.
I need their help because they'll get me through.
Yeah, it is time.
I might never leave, you know me. But it's been a pleasure, my dear, and I'm so proud of the journey. Again, let's show her website again because it's a beautiful website, very beautiful and very interactive, family. As soon as you start clicking on these lines right here on the side, it takes you where you got to go. The main lobby. She speaks, she leads, she inspires. Meet our sister, and that, but the pronunciation. How you say it, girl? I'm sorry. Huh?
Aina-Nia.
Aina-Nia.
Yeah.
Aina-Nia. That's not Aina-Nia. Yes. So, and as soon as you press that button, it takes you to this lovely face right here. Inspirational soul, everything. Look at all that. You even got a link to our videos that you want.
Yeah, she was in a documentary. I think that is the link.
I think that's a documentary. Yes, Remembering Her Power documentary.
Yeah,
yes.
That's so powerful. You guys, please go check that out.
Yes, please check it out. This sister here look familiar. This sister here on the front there. But so. Man, it's been a journey, man. We had a good time, and I'm so honored that we had to have this good time. She has to send me our number, tell her to text me on WhatsApp or something, she's still backstage. So do me a favor, darling. This is my number here. Take a snapshot of it and text me on WhatsApp. Text me on WhatsApp. Yeah, hit me on. I think it's +1 347 4961022. So that's the number right there. Text me. So yeah, you got it? Yeah, she got it. I see it back there. Yes, I see. All right. My dear Kerry-Ann, thank you very much for being your gracious self and your greatest self. Although whatever you're going through with the headache is gonna do you feel a little better? You feel a little better?
I do, but like quick movements and big laughs.
Yeah, you can.
I feel that.
All right. Well, don't get yourself some rest. We're not going to hold you no longer because we know we love you. And we're about to make sure you come back next week because, next week we have Tassili Ma'at. We got Tassili Ma'at coming in next week. Of course, we got to do the Anunnaki thing in New York here. We're doing the Anunnaki thing. We've been already sold out. It's sold out, family. It is sold out.
Wow.
Sold out. Yes. And then I got Phil Valentine on the 19th. Dr. Phil Valentine coming in. And his wife is going to be coming up with her new book, New Life from Near Death. She's coming in. And then you and I got this beautiful lady, Tassili Ma'at, coming in. Food is culture and culture is food, the movement of going raw for our health. And I already got this picture of this sister, but I'm waiting for you to do the fire. But this is Dr. Sunyata. Amen. Dr. Sunyata. Amen. She's from Jamaica too, so look out for her. She coming.
Jamaican connects them. Yeah.
And then we got this beautiful sister in June, of course. Nairobi Vision. I can't wait. The Nairobi Vision. Yes.
Jamaican also. She's a Jamaican too.
Yeah, Jamaica she come from. Holy for and of course, I got a tribute to Dr. Dick Gregory and, of course, Ashwa Kwesi in New York. I mean, not in New York, in Georgia. We're doing it at October 12th and 13th. We're trying to get Kerry-Ann to say a few words if she can make it down, but we don't know. We're gonna figure this out. If she can't make it, it's all right. And remember,
I'm coming.
And don't forget, please support Kerry-Ann and on her website, kerryanningram.com. A beautiful website. She's doing her thing, man, and making it happen on multiple levels. And she can help you with the card spread, as well as her healing jewelry, as well as her distant Reiki energy healing. show us some love that way. You know what I'm saying? That's how we show
Thank
love.
you all in advance.
It's all in the butt. Go get yourself some rest because the Stevie Wonder look good, but you know it already.
I'll forgive you.
I know.
Thank you so much, family.
Yes.
Guys, take care of yourself, take care of your hearts, and I will see you next week. Be well.
Smooching, sister. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. All right. Love you.
Love
all
you
right.
too.
That's my dear Kerry-Ann. Give her a round of applause. Of course, we want to make sure that everything is all right with our dear out there. We had a great time with this sister, man. And like I said, man, she reminded me of some friends I know from Canada, man. We just had fun back in that day. So it's a beautiful thing. Family, do remember to vote for me. Television host for Forbidden Knowledge TV. Vote for me. My series is called Calculate Your Destiny on ForbiddenKnowledgeTV.com. It's a whole network that Billy Carson owns. His wife and him owns it. Just text that number and you can vote for your brother. I want to win. I'm the only melanated one in that category. So I'm going up against Nick Pope, Jimmy Church, Regina Meredith, and also Brad Olson. So it is what it is. But I'm going to take it. I'm going to walk that stage in Florida. I'm telling y'all. So we're going to do what we got to do. Just text that number. Vote for Dr. B Serious. Vote for, I think, Michael Beckwith is also in it. A whole lot of people. So we're all in this thing. So make sure y'all vote or go to the website, Forbidden Knowledge TV, and go and vote through there. And again, remember all the things that we got coming up. And big up to my son. This is his studio. Enough respect to him. Also, big up to one of my teachers, Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Hit him up on his website, one of my great teachers from Numbers and You. And also a dear friend of mine's here, Dr. Shakira Moore, the iridologist, holistic healer, Linktree/holistic healer. She's not only a certified holistic iridologist, but she's a nutritional advisor and spiritual teacher. And also big up to Dr. Karima King from the Temple of Regeneration. Big up to her and all that she's doing with her therapeutic spa and energetic healing, body work and stretch therapy and body treatment. And big up to spiritual consultations by Amira. Big up to her, certified Reiki master and also international yoga teacher, and cartomancy specialist. She worked with the cards. She's good at what she does. Make sure you give her a call or email her. I did a session with her today. She was dropping some good dream knowledge on me, and that was nice. And remember, if you want to book a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. You can take my online Udemy course. My Udemy course is online right now called Holistic Numerovation. I'm the only one doing holistic numerovation. Everybody else got numerology. I got holistic numerovation on Udemy. And if you speak a different language, they can translate it to different languages for you. And these are all my books. Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple. Children's health is important. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. And no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. That's the name of my book there. And that's based on my promotional world with all the major reggae artists, hip hop, and all the people that I worked with in New York back in the day. And remember, the audio book is coming very soon. We're doing editing. My new children's book is based on my reggae song back in the day is also coming out. And remember what Einstein said, family. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. All right. And remember what Dr. B says. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection. And I am thankful for my life. And let's close out with what Dr. Blair used to say. Please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Thank you to our sister that came on, the great Ayo'dele, Sister Ayo'dele. Thank her for coming on and sharing her love and everything that she's doing for the Women for Peace movement. And thank Kerry-Ann for being a part. Kerry-Ann is now taking a nice little relaxation right now. And I love you all, family. Make sure you continue to support the channel and don't be afraid to be your greatest self And remember, your mathematics are not here to control you. It's here to guide you like a GPS. And if you allow it to guide you, it will take you to where you got to go. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be strong. Be respectful of yourself and others. And everything will be all right. Just like Bob Marley used to say, people don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. Take care of yourself. Peace. And this has been the Healing Vybez Show. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
King Simon, I love him. He's family, and he has one of the top shows on the Forbidden Knowledge TV network, actually.
That's right.
So make sure you guys check that out if you haven't.
Yeah, his show is called, it was really based on numerovation. It's a numerology show, and it's called How to Calculate Your Destiny.
Yes. By
King Simon. He's the host of the show. The show has done so well, we're now getting ready to start working on filming season 2. All right, so King Simon, one of the top shows on Forbidden Knowledge TV, streaming TV platform.
Numerovation with King Simon. Text me now at 347-496-1022. You could also take my course if you want to, but do text me for your sessions at 347-496-1022. You could also get my books on Amazon at Linktr.ee/King Simon the Numerovator. Remember, you can book your session and get it done right now. 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. King Simon the Numerovator.